Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to another edition of the Six Gaming Podcast. And we're now officially in high ASCII. This is episode number 128.
Uh-oh.
High ASCII, yep.
We are exceeding the bits.
Two to the seventh power right now.
Lots of bits going on.
Lots of bits. Yes. And
Ron, I like when your hair is blowing in the wind.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the... Why are you making me sing?
I don't know.
Dust
in the wind.
This isn't dust. This is hair. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of warm here, so I got the fan up on high right now. So that's the reason for that. Filling in for your host, as always, it's Ron Klee. Shosan's being a turkey once again this week. And
turkey jerky.
And continuing to be both awesome and illustrious.
It's the Ron and Penn show.
It is. Yeah, but a lot of people...
There's sometimes French show.
Yes. Sometimes Veg and Shosan join.
Brox occasionally.
I haven't seen Brox in months.
I might be going to Cedar Point with Brox next year. Sweet. They just released a video of the new roller coaster. They tore out the Mean Streak, which was aptly named because you'd get off of it and hate everything about your life because it was very bumpy. But they like ripped off the tracks, rebuilt parts of it. Now it's like a steel wood hybrid thing, and it broke a bunch of records, and it's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, and you're originally from that area, right?
Ish.
So somewhere close enough. Like kind of like I'm from where Six Flags Darien Lake is with ish. It's like in 2 hours.
Like a few hours. Like I would go every summer. But Brox, besides the fact that he's a rocket scientist, he's also a super geek on roller coasters. So he'll be like, oh, these are being manufactured by, whatever, Acme roller coaster company.
Everything about them.
Yeah, the wheels have a extra 4% yaw on them, and that makes them have a better friction curve going around the third turn on whatever compared to such and such. And I was like, that is awesome.
It's awesome that you know that, yes. Yeah. But yeah, we have... well, this. I don't know if we can properly call this the first half of the show. Maybe we call it the first quarter of the show today.
The first fraction of the show. First
fraction of the show, because this is news, but we don't have a whole lot of news. Most of what we're going to talk about is Blizzard. And the Blizzard launcher is they've decided that 22 years of brand awareness is actually a good thing, and they're going to keep calling it the Battle.net launcher.
Yeah, well, it's like the Blizzard Battle.net launcher or something. Yeah. I don't know. It's going back to Battle.net is the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. However, I will say that messing around with the name is the most Nintendo thing that Blizzard has ever done.
Nintendo,
right?
Yes.
I mean, they kind of Nintendo'd it.
Yeah, Nintendo likes to Nintendo, but this time around it's Blizzard. But yeah, I mean, it's good that they're keep that together, and the way that they're doing it, so, like you said, they're combining the two logo, the Blizzard logo with Battle.net. I wonder if this is a way to possibly phase it out a little more amicably.
Well, I mean, because we talked about maybe one of the reasons they were changing it was because these games don't run on Battle.net anymore, right? Battle.net used to be what StarCraft and everything ran on, and they're not actually running on Battle.net anymore. But they did a redesign. I think it was a couple weeks ago. But I did notice with the most recent update, I now have Destiny 2 and the ability to pre-purchase it on my launcher, and some of the logos got updated as well.
And it's kind of funny because in their press release, they noted, well, I just lost the page. It says, take it from the developer formerly known as Silicon and Synapse and Chaos Studios. Names are important too. Former names of Blizzard Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they're going to keep Battle.net around for a while, so we'll see how that goes. And then Twitch Prime's kind of neat this month.
Yes, it is. If you want to get some free loot from Heroes of the Storm, legendary box, and you can re-roll it, I believe, up to 4 times on the legendary box. It costs a lot of gold if you got it, but you're guaranteed at least 1 legendary and up to whatever else. You also get 5 loot boxes. You get a code for 5 loot boxes in Overwatch. Not another golden loot box in Overwatch, but you can get a code, and you have. So the one for Heroes of the Storm, you link it to your Blizzard account, and you automatically get it.
Yep.
For Overwatch, you need to go to the page, get the code, put the code in on your BattleNet code redemption thing.
Yeah, and that's the way the golden loot box work too.
Right.
So it's the Heroes of the Storm one that's just a little different to do that. So I'm gonna be doing that probably right after this episode. And then there's also some in-game loot for other games like Warframe, Lawbreakers, and For Honor. So some pretty.
If you have any of those.
If you have any of those, and yeah, as far as news, I'm pretty dry on this. Not a whole lot else that I've seen come across the way.
I got nothing. Not a whole lot this week.
Just kind of like some quick throwaway news more than anything. There is a game coming out soon called The Bail Trap.
BAIL or BALE?
BAIL, like jail bail. And the whole point of this game is to show you exactly how bad the money bail system is in America.
Oh, well. Maybe some people will learn because it's horrible.
It is pretty bad. So I mean, it's kind of like an activist type kind of game.
It's it's like one of those like sort of art project games.
Yes, and you can't even win it. It's impossible to win.
Good,
because try winning it in real life. You know,
it should almost be the credit card debt. I mean, it's the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, they talk about things like where somebody who was so much as associated with somebody that committed a minor crime, like $38 worth of shoplifting, got held on $100,000 bail. It's like, what the hell?
It's insane.
There's that, and then I wish I could find the name of this game.
Start with Your Dad Simulator 2017.
Do they have 2017?
No.
Good, because they don't need 2017. I want to find, is it Variant?
That sounds
yes. Okay, so there's a game coming. It may already be out. It's pretty expensive though. It's like a $35 game, but it's called Variant. Variant Limits, and the whole purpose of this game is to teach you calculus. And we lost Dan. Dan disappeared. He's missing. Dan, where are you? We can't go on without you.
So it's like Frog Fractions, right?
No, this is actually a real calculus game.
When I Google it, it says Variance Limits is like Myst for calculus students.
Pretty much. There are some puzzles. In order to get by certain elements, you have to pretty much use calculus, which is the whole point. It looks pretty interesting. I mean, ooh. I would play it if it was a little less expensive. I would find $35 a bit much for a game like
that.
This.
Is really cool art style.
But yeah, the art style is amazing. It's got a very nice art style. Whoever put it together really had a good idea for this world, and it's implemented really well. So
yeah, I like this. I would play this just to review my calculus.
Yeah, I mean, I would play it just because it looks cool, and I'm mathy. I can do stuff like this.
I'm not sure if it teaches you calculus or if it assumes that you know some
straight
calculus.
Up teaches you calculus.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like progressively teaching you things or if it was like find the integral of this thing but in a puzzle.
Yeah, so it's
cool.
Kind of interesting. It's Triseum, like museum, except try instead of mu. So TRISEUM.com, and you can find Variant somewhere on that site. They have a lot. They do a lot of things. I think it's under. I don't think it's. Yeah, it is under products. So you can check it out there. They have other games as well. But I saw that and I was like really interested in it. But $35 is a lot.
It's a lot for that.
So it's more. Since it's more focused on educators. You know, they'll shell out the money for that.
But back in the 90s, when like it's my turn to use the computer because their classroom only had one computer, or maybe your school only had one computer.
Yeah. So there's that. And that just about does it for our normal news. Hey Dan, what you drinking?
I've just finished my giant glass of water.
What?
I had.
Wait. What are you talking about? What are you doing with your life? I don't know. Dan, I have bad news for you.
So I went to a kid's birthday party this morning. Well, my kid went to one of his friends' birthday parties. It was at a park, and they had beer. So I had 3 cans of beer at the birthday party. Yes, it was for the adults, and because we all had kids, so we needed beer. And then I went to dinner tonight for my birthday. And
happy birthday, sir.
Thank you. Well, it's tomorrow, but we celebrate in advance. And I had a very large margarita, and so I'm drinking some water right now.
No scotch. I got bad news for you.
I'm out of scotch right now.
I have very bad news for you. We have league news.
It's okay.
We have league news,
and pretend like I care.
Today is the quarterfinals of the summer split, and there were a couple of surprising games, starting with a huge upset.
Ron, I was so surprised.
You were so surprised.
I was so surprised about this news.
Because Dan watches this religiously, and he gets so upset when he misses. He gets about as upset at missing League of Legends as Shosan gets at missing his favorite parts of the show.
I mean, that time that KT played Cloud9 and then TSM like hacked in the middle of it and started playing the bad guys. That was amazing.
TSM never plays the bad guys. Remember that.
I don't know.
TSM are the good. Anyway, so yeah, a couple surprising results starting over in Europe with the Misfits sweeping the Unicorns of Love. The Misfits didn't even have a 500 season. Unicorns of Love were 9-4. The Misfits were 6-7. Veg will be happy with this. He hates the Unicorns of Love. He just hates their name.
I love them.
Yeah, I think it's a really awesome name for an esports team. But then in NA we had a closer pair of teams with Cloud9 and Dignitas. They were only 1 win apart. Team Dignitas was still the underdog, but they managed a 3-1 victory. Cloud9 is out of the playoffs in the quarterfinals. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Cloud9 is like perennial, at least semifinalist.
Yep.
So yeah,
even Dignitas, I knew that.
Yeah, yes, you did. And Dignitas is like they took the first 2 games, they dropped the third one. Made it look easy on the 4th game as well. And then I want to see what the results last night were, because there's also some LCK action going on, and the defending world champions SK Telecom were in action last night, and I'm kind of confused at what I'm reading here. Let me click on this. Oh yeah, so KT Rolster destroyed SK Telecom in game 1. I mean, it wasn't even close, but SK does SK things, and they came back to win the series 3-2. So they'll be moving on to the next round. They kind of do a this knockout tournament where there's only one side, kind of a gauntlet type thing. So their final match is going to be against Longzhu Gaming, coming up on the 26th at 1 a.m. So it's going to be next Saturday morning. You know what else is next Saturday, Dan?
No.
Because
I don't.
Because you don't play and you're a bad Smurf anyway.
Oh, is there a incursion or whatever they're called?
There is 13 Magnus is coming next week, and Portland is one of the cities, and I'm actually going to be in a recharge room for that. So basically, we know what the portals are going to be. We've already got a map of them. There's people in Portland right now that are going to just be farming keys. And then sometime next week, they're coming to San Francisco to drop off a bunch of these keys. And on Saturday, I'm going to be picking up a bunch of these keys and sitting in a room with like 10 other people and taking orders from operators. It's going to be awesome. It's like a huge operation to what do they call these things? Anomalies.
Anomaly, that's what I meant.
Yeah, so big anomaly coming up, and then San Francisco's got their own on December 2nd. That's going to be interesting. I'll see what I'm going to do for that, but yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
Cool.
So now that we're done with that fraction of the show, we can go on. We can move on to a whole half of a whole half,
An entire half.
an entire whole half. It is a whole half.
Right. 70% of the time, it's all the time.
Pretty much. Yeah. So this is Shosan's favorite part of the show. He's beating up turkeys. He's so mad he's missing this. This is Shosan's favorite part of the show.
Shosan's part of the show. Yeah.
This is where we talk about what we've been playing last week and any good game recommendations we can give you guys. Dan, do you come up with anything?
What I'm playing, you mean?
Yeah.
I thought you were asking me for new names for this part of the show.
Oh, well, that too. If you have any new names for this part of the show, feel free to let us know in chat because we really need it. I mean, we've gone 128 episodes and we still don't have a good name for this part. It's terrible. Help. Please send help. Shosans make us work in a sweatshop. Send help.
Help.
Go ahead, Dan.
Help. I'm dying inside. Help. Help.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. I was watching some Rick and Morty this week. Some Overwatch, some not Hearthstone. I don't play Hearthstone.
You just say it.
Hearthstone?
Yeah, you just say it.
Yeah. Heroes and Overwatch, just a little bit here and there. Played a little bit more Dragon Age, a lot more Battlegrounds. It's one of those games where I feel like it's addictive in that sometimes I think like when you first started playing Necrodancer, it's probably like this. Some games you get in, you die within a minute, and then you're like, okay, start again. Like you do a short game, but sometimes you play a really long game. I mean, I guess even in Necrodancer, the longest games aren't that long, but
the first couple times you can play for like half an hour.
Yeah. So there's definitely been some where I think I'm going to die really quickly, but I kind of survive for a while, and then I get down to like the final 10 and then die, and then I'm angry that I died, so I go back into another game, and so I end up playing for like 3 hours without realizing it. So it is a little bit addictive like that. And I also was playing a little bit of a game I've had for a long time called 140.
Oh yeah, I know that game.
It is a rhythm platformer, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like I don't think it's an endless runner, right?
No,
but I mean, basically all the things that you have to do are timed to the beat.
Yeah, so it's like if not Super Meat Boy isn't a good comparison just because that's so frantic.
Maybe Bit Trip.
But I was gonna say it's like some version of Bit Trip, but it's not an endless.
Bit Trip's more endless
thing. So it's like you have the beat and you have the music, and then like platforms move or speak and nothing comes out.
Words. They mean things.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So that's pretty fun. That it's just you can hear a problem with the stream.
Yeah, I'll look at it. Just go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So that it is kind of annoying though that you can't pause it. Not pause it. You can't save your progress except once you've finished like an entire area. So you just kind of if you get stuck, like you can't come back to the game and have saved your progress within that world. So every time I come back, I basically replay the same area because I never get through it. And I think that's about it.
Cool.
Haven't been playing a whole lot.
Yeah, my week's been kind of light in terms of variety of what I've been playing, but that's largely because Crypt of the Necrodancer's Condor season has been taking over life pretty much. I've been casting a whole bunch of races. We just concluded the second week. I am still 500, 6-6 through 2 weeks. This week I have two opponents that historically I've done very well against, so I'm looking to improve my record this week. My elo is over 1800, by the way. It's like 1860 something. So if I do really well this week, I could be like in the top 10.
Nice.
So I'm kind of like really crossing my fingers that I don't screw up against these two guys. They can be good, but like Paratroopa is one of the guys I'm facing. Last time I played him was in the finals of Revenge Tour, and I beat him 3-0. Arboretic I've beaten in Conduit, but that was a long time ago. He could be completely different by now. But yeah. So yeah, that's been taking over a lot of what I've been doing. The other games I played in the last week, Overload. I've been playing the new patch for that with the new map. And I've gotten more than 100 kills on all the hotshot levels, so now I'm going to be starting the ace levels on Sunday. Those are going to be ridiculously hard. It's going to be fun. And then Wild Wednesday, I only played a couple games, again, because of Necrodancer. I was able to play Shell Shock Live. Have you heard that game?
I don't believe I have.
Shell Shock Live is basically an online version of Scorched Earth with way more weapons.
I would like that game.
It is kind of fun. It can be a little, I mean, the online community is a little toxic. I don't particularly like that part of it, but if you can find a good room like I did the other night, you can actually have a pretty fun game. And even as a low level without a whole lot of things, you can still do some damage. You still get some OP stuff. So that's Shell Shock Live, and then Hex Cells Plus was the other one I played. It's just a very relaxing Minesweeper variant, pretty much. And then the big thing I've been doing outside of Necrodancer is a game called Spelunky. And I have a love-hate relationship with this game. And let me tell you why. First of all, it's addictive as hell. It's like crack. It's a platformer. It's got 20 levels if you go to hell. It's got 16 levels with a final boss. But the mechanics are like about as unforgiving as you can get. And there are some mechanics in this game that I just absolutely infuriate me. Like, I'll get a good run going, and then the next level will be what's called a darkness level, where you can't see shit. Instead of carrying around your item, you're pretty much forced to carry around this fucking torch that you have to go around lighting up everything so you can see more than 2 tiles in front of you. And then you end up doing something silly like running in an enemy and it throws you onto spikes. It's just like, ugh. You just want to kill things. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's a very frustrating game. I'm on the fence whether or not I would recommend this game. At the moment, I'm working on what's called Hell Runs, which you go through the normal 16 levels, but you have to do certain things, like somewhere in Zone 1, you have to get this eye. Somewhere in Zone 2, you have to find a hidden exit that takes you to Black Market and purchase a really expensive item in there, the Ankh. Now, the Ankh's nice because it gives you a free life, but you have to use that on a particular level in order to get another item that gets you into the City of Gold. It's a very complex process. If you think this is hard, look up Spelunky Eggplant Runs.
Okay.
Not right now, but I mean, at some point, look up Spelunky Eggplant Runs. Those are just freaking insane. Because you make one mistake, you kill the eggplant, and it's game over if you're doing an eggplant run. So there's a lot of frustration with that game. And like I said, it's just some of the mechanics just annoy the ever-loving crap out of me. But I've had enough success with the game that I'm sticking with it for now. We'll see how far I get with it. My personal best is getting the City of Gold, which is, I think that's 4-3, which is 1 away from the first boss. And you have to defeat the first boss a certain way to get to hell. And then you clear the next 4 levels and clear the last boss. His name's Yama, rather. And you win. So it's an interesting game. So, yeah.
I'm not very good at it. A few times I've tried to play.
Oh, you have played it?
Yeah. I've had it on GOG, I think. And
do you know how many hours you have in it?
Like 1.
Yeah. If you play for like even 5 hours, you're not going to be very good at that game. It took me forever to even get out of Zone 1.
Yeah. Well, it was like what was the shooting Enter the Gungeon. Mm-hmm. Like I can beat like the first area and then I get my butt kicked on the second area.
Yeah.
But it's not too unlike, I watch someone else play online and they're pretty good. It's not unlike getting through a Necrodancer, one through worlds 1 through 4 or 5 or whatever without a problem. And I can't get through just 2 starting on 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally true. It's just putting the time into it, figuring out the game. I've got 50 hours in it. give you an idea how much I've played. So
Mm.
I've only beaten the game twice, the whole game twice.
Yeah.
But I want more. So that's what I'm doing with that. So anyway, that's gonna just about do it for the games section this week. And now we move on to the third. Well, I guess it's not third half because we only had one other half.
Ron,
First one was
do you know how many hours you have on Crypt without looking?
I know it's close to 2,000.
You're very close to 2,000.
Yes, I remember seeing over 1,900 last I looked. So, a lot of hours. The top players have more hours than that. Way more, like 2,500, 3,000. We're talking. So it's ridiculous how much people play that game.
It's a good game. I wish I were a little bit better at it.
Love it.
Practice.
Trying to think. If I were to put the amount of time that I have, I think I'm over 400 days
in a cat
in WoW. So that's 9,600 hours by comparison, and that's not counting Albrecht, who has a lot of time too. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have that much time in Achaia. So speaking of which, I mean, I told you this, but I found another Achaean in my Ingress group. It's just like so funny. I'm finding them left and right. It's kind of funny because I recognize the guy's name, right?
Did you?
Yeah, his name is actually Halos, whatever his last name is in the game. Yeah, that's his name in Ingress.
Oh, in Ingress. I was going to say in real life that's not his name.
No, but it's like it's why he goes by on the Slack chat and everything. It's like, oh, I recognize this name. And then today, or yesterday, I was talking to the other guy that I found on that chat about God, I don't even remember what it was. We ended up talking about things like the dream and shit. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned your name too. He remembered you. So, but yeah, your original name, Larius.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I was like, well, I would assume that people would know me.
Yeah. So it's kind of neat. So anyway, yeah, we're moving on to the third part of the show.
People know me.
People know you. Yes.
Kind of a big deal. Mm-hmm. My temple has many leather-bound volumes. Smell of rich mahogany.
Oh man. Moving on to the third half of the show. This is the 6 gaming roundtable where neither me nor Dan have a roundtable, but we're going to talk around something. We'll figure out. How about this? This is a windshield. It's round. Dan's got one too. It's perfectly round. It's probably the same one.
Might be.
Let me see this part of it.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. Oh, wow.
Mine's
oh yeah, yours actually has a brand name on it. Mine's kind of like
the brand name is crap made in China, probably.
I have to tell you, I got this thing for like $4, and it's lasted me years.
Yeah,
this was a good deal, so I'm really glad I got it. It's better than using like my previous version of a windshield was taking a tissue and putting it over the microphone.
I'm mostly mad that I cheaped out, so I got a blue snowball. And I think it's the ice that's basically the cheapest one. It was like 30 or 40 bucks. Mm-hmm. And if I would have just done like 80 or whatever, I could have gotten the Yeti. And there's deals every once in a while where it comes along with a game or something.
Oh, jeez.
And it's just such a better mic. It's got stereo pickup. It's whatever.
But yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys a question on gaming and we can discuss it. And I'm going to use a question that I was going to wait for, but we're going to punish the hell out of Edge and Show for not showing up. And we're going to ask the following questions. What game should be made into a movie? Or what movie into a game? What would you like to see?
You know, if you guys have ever played The Dig, which was an old LucasArts adventure game.
Right.
There was a
game,
book that was basically I think it might have even been written by Greg Bear or something, like a notable sci-fi author. They novelized the game, even though it almost seems like the game is a game of a novel. It's actually the novel was novelization of the game. Mm-hmm. I think they could turn that game into a relatively reasonable movie. I mean, it's a little reminiscent of like Contact or what would The Arrival, or was Frequency the one where he like talked to his dad in the past on like a ham radio? Like I feel like it would kind of get a vibe like that. You know, we could get those kinds of actors, that kind of. I think that would work out. I'd like to see that because that was a pretty good game, and I think it'd translate well into a movie.
Back in '99, Interplay started a division called Interplay Films, and they had the idea to air on TV on NBC a movie based on Descent. And they ended up
the movie I saw called The Descent had
not The Descent. This is the actual one based on the actual game.
I know.
And they decided to, instead of making a TV movie, they decided to make it a full feature movie. And that just kind of mysteriously disappeared. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the whole thing with the Material Defender versus Dravis and how that would play out on the big screen.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
It'd be kind of neat because Descent 3 had a nice deep story to it as opposed to 1 and 2, which were just, go to the mines and blow shit up. I'd be really interested in seeing how that would work out. But I mean, there's a lot of interesting things that could work as a potential movie. Now, you want to talk about things with, there's another thing that you could do other than just take a game's plot and make it a movie. You can do things like what the Legend of Zelda animated series did, or Mario Brothers, and just take the characters, put them in the environment, but come up with a unique story for them that's not in any of the games. Stuff like that.
Like I want to see. They're supposedly making a Myst series for Hulu, or they were. I don't know if they're still going to do it, but I'd like to see more stories that happen in the Myst universe, like where, like ancient in Dunny, when they could, write new linking books and
they do that. They do that with like Star Trek.
Yeah,
they have games like there was one game for the Sega Genesis for Star Trek: The Next Generation that was like it was a very good story plot, and but it's not part of any of the canon or the lore or anything. That's the kind of thing I'd like to see.
Like Elite Force on PC was a Star Trek Voyager game that I think it might have actually been considered canon, but it was, it was a game that was in that world.
Yeah. As far as
Jarnon said, I don't think he has an answer either way, but wouldn't want to see movies made from games. Said don't see movies all that often. And games made for movies, it would be more along the lines of movie franchises that already have games. So, that's kind of what you're saying is like, if there's already a story world, then you can create more stories within that world.
Yeah,
just by
Star Wars.
Game about it.
Star Wars also does that. So it's things like that. But as far as like taking like movie like line for line or something like that, or just have like the player character play through like a loose story, like Aladdin does that, for instance, for the Sega.
Wow, that era of games on the early consoles was like the Willow game on Nintendo. You basically just play a version of the movie.
Yeah. So it's interesting how that stuff works. Making you and that's interesting because I've read an article from the creator of E.T. Not the movie, but the game. He was also the creator of Raiders of the Lost Ark for the 2600, which was an amazing success. And one of the things that Spielberg said to him after that was, "Oh my God, I feel like I feel like almost I'm in a movie." So I mean, you can do stuff like that, right? E.T. just got too rushed was the problem. But stuff like that. And then, we've talked about the litany of video game movies that are just absolutely horrible in the past. Super Mario Brothers. What was it? Mortal Kombat was pretty bad. Street Fighter was bad.
I'm pretty sure you said that Super Mario was bad.
Yes, it was. You're the only one that thinks it's good in the world.
It's awesome.
It's terrible. It's the worst movie ever.
It's awesome.
It's not even taking the characters and putting them in the right world. It's just making them entirely different. It's terrible.
And it's awesome.
Horrible. It's the worst movie ever. It's I mean, it's almost like having like an alternate universe is what that is.
Yep.
Mortal Kombat wasn't that bad. Well, Borjorn, all I have to say to you is, this is where you fall.
What about Street Fighter?
It's terrible. That's an awful movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme should be ashamed of himself. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
That's pretty awful. But yeah, we've talked about movies like that before, and the problem with making video games a movie typically is, oh God, what are they going to screw up this time?
Yep. Doom.
Yeah, jeez.
If anybody remembers that they made a Doom movie.
Wasn't The Rock in that?
Yes, he was.
Jeez, it's terrible. Well, this is another one I was going to come up with too. That was like,
Should make a Crypt of the Necro.
no. To be fair, the World of Warcraft movie was entertaining, but it totally isn't canon.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
So, they could make a Deus Ex movie, I think, and pull that off pretty well if they did not the main plot, right?
Yeah.
They do a.
I mean, Mass Effect could be made as a good movie, I think.
Yeah.
I would totally watch that. I was totally disappointed at Wing Commander. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wing Commander is awful. Jeez. How about Life is Strange? Sully, who's watching on the wrong channel, is suggesting.
Oh, well, the what's it called? Walking Dead. That went from a TV show to a game. That translated pretty well.
Hmm. Yeah, that actually did translate quite well. I can't think of anything else that's gone from from movie to the game though that I really enjoyed playing. I mean, there's
Nothing off the top of my head.
There's of course the James Bond for what was it, the Nintendo 64?
Oh,
a lot of people
yeah,
liked.
of course, GoldenEye.
That one's pretty good, but not a whole lot.
It's
of
old.
I can see. Yeah, it's really old. I mean, it's very old. Never had much experience on Wing Commander film. What about the film cut of the Wing Commander 3 game? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I think there's some people who basically actually a Reddit subreddit called Games the Movie or Movies the Games or something like that. Basically, people take games, they splice all the cutscenes and some of the gameplay together to make a coherent story that you can just watch from start to finish.
That's kind of neat. Yeah, that's not quite the same thing though. That's more long. I mean, we saw that with like when the Lich King expansion came out. When that one came out, they put together all the cutscenes so that people would understand how the Lich King became the Lich King and stuff like that, which is interesting. But I mean, that's more of a fan thing. This is how I think, and that kind of stuff's cool too. Don't get me wrong. Some people do some amazing fan work. Absolutely. So yeah, man, there's just like so many examples, I think, in both directions that can be talked about.
Veg and Show, if you watch this, get your ass in the show, and then you can give some examples yourself.
Yeah, hell. I wouldn't mind doing this again with more people at some point.
And thank you to Borjarnin for doing some input.
And Sully.
I guess. She's not doing it in chat.
I guess, he says. She was doing it in chat, just my chat. I'm hosting the channel, so she just went to my channel and saw something.
Gotcha.
Yep. So, but yeah, cool. I think that's just about it. Unless you have anything else you want to bring up.
I got nothing. I'm falling asleep.
Then I think we're gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna go get some pizza.
You should get some pizza.
I'm getting some deep dish pizza because Patchy's is awesome. It's a great pizza.
Okay.
So that's gonna just about do it. Dan, any closing remarks you want to give before we?
Nope. Thanks for coming.
And
you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
So next week, I already know show's out. I may not be back in time.
I don't know what my situation is,
So yeah, so next week may kind of be a question mark as to whether we actually have a show, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot, and then if not, we'll definitely do one the following week.
Hungry Howie's. I think there's a Hungry Howie's where I was from.
Hungry Howie's.
Is that a local thing?
Hungry Howie. I want to look this up now. Hungry Howie's. Home
Crust
of
pizza.
original flavored crust pizza.
Madison Heights, Michigan is the headquarters.
Yeah, it's pretty near to you. So
550 locations. The
pretty near
11th,
to where you used to be.
the 11th largest pizza chain.
Not too bad. Anyway, Patchy's is not that big. It's more of a local thing. But they have really good pizza. So I'm gonna get some.
Yep, you should
So-
have some.
So that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for joining us on episode number 2 to the 7th power. I really appreciate
Pretty
it.
soon we're gonna need another bit.
We just got a new bit today.
Okay.
We got the new bit today because in binary it's 1000000.
It's gonna be a while before we need another bit.
Yeah, 128 episodes to be exact.
Yeah.
I'm mathing so hard right now.
But we'll see you guys in a few years when we've had that many episodes. And
Yep.
maybe we'll have more than like 3 people show up to watch the episodes.
Or maybe we'll have more than 3
Maybe
people on the episodes.
We'll make it a real podcast.
Maybe
Maybe. You'll have to keep
probably
tuning in
not.
and find out.
Probably not. Yeah, keep
Probably
tuning in. Keep tuning in until we do that. That would be great. We would appreciate that. So, for the crew of the Six Gaming Podcasts, I'm Ron Klee, and we'll see you guys next week. Dan, take it away.
Bye. See ya. Bye. See ya. Bye. See ya. Bye.